Buenos días. Vamos a tomarnos un café hoy con PIET Baumgartner, el director de la película Bagger Drama, que compite para la sección Premio Cuchabán New Directors. Buenos días. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations for your film.
Thank you very much.
Yesterday, when we premiered your film and you did the introduction to your film, you mentioned that in your country, where you come from, the people don't talk about emotions. They don't talk. Actually, they don't talk. So you were. That was the words. They were the words that you introduced before the film was screened. So, can you please develop a little bit more that?
I was very overwhelmed yesterday with the premiere because here you have people love cinema and they really show it, so much emotions. And where I come from Switzerland, we do have them also, emotions, but we don't show them so much. So I was so overwhelmed with all the reactions and the scene applause and everything. That was very stunning. So I don't know how it is in your family, but where I come from in my region, you don't. It's more common that I don't ask you how are you doing. It's more like I ask the other one how are he or she is doing. So it's more like on the corner with the emotions.
Actually, I think I have the perception, because I was interviewing also a director from here, and actually he was also exploring that part of the family where it's very difficult to talk about feelings. But I guess there are two approaches. Sometimes it's difficult because it hurts, or sometimes you just don't talk because maybe it's a little cultural. And I want you to develop this idea with your film, actually, if you were exploring that in your film.
I learned with the reactions of the audience now that the feeling about not talking in a family is quite global. I didn't realize that before. And the starting point was for me, how does a family work, or what's the function of a family when everyone is grown up, when you're grown up as a kid and you see your parents as normal humans and not just as parents, because they become normal persons with failures. And on the other hand, why is it sometimes so difficult to talk about feelings or emotions in a family where you should be covered? But sometimes it's the most difficult.
It's a mystery, actually. It's a mystery, because supposedly that will be the place where everything will be allowed to say, to express, but it doesn't happen.
And the relation to your mother and your father always stays special. When I go home, I am never as a kid as I am there, because you will always stay the kid.
The kid.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit more specifically about your film. You explore kind of like the response of a family after a tragedy. I mean, so it's more like the portrait of a collapse. This is a personal story, where this story comes from?
It's my most personal film so far, and I learned the expression autofiction, and I would say it's more or less autofiction. We had a loss in our family too, and it's not one-to-one, but still there is a point of no return where you have to start talking, because of everything is changing and everyone is on point zero again when you're grown up. And so how does it continue? How do you continue your journeys? And this is the question I was interested about.
In your film, you have also something very unique with the use of those
excavators.
Yes. Besides the visual impact and the seduction or hypnotic aspect of those It's like they are kind of robots. Is there any other meaning that the use of these excavators have in your film?
So first of all, I work quite a lot with machines in theater and fine arts. So with 200 kettles, an installation, or with tennis ball machines or whatever. So I'm very used to use machines for my work. But also in this specific case with Bakkerdrama, I had the story, this family story, and I developed it for quite a long time. But I searched for quite a long time for a visual element, and I think the excavators, they are somehow sometimes more human than the people, because they're very big and they can destroy everything, but in other moments they're very fragile and decent and they show feelings, and in my eyes they're very poetic.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to get to. Is suddenly you have two elements that they're not humans, but suddenly you project into them some human quality. There's like a dance. They become something beautiful.
Yeah, it's a excavator ballet in the end, and I think they do show sometimes the feelings people do not show, and this is something you can reflect, and you can you see in the family I'm portraying. Everyone is talking on this company they're running. Everyone is talking about the excavators, but not on the feelings. So I needed the excavators to express the feelings.
That's wonderful. It works very well, I have to tell you.
Thank you very
And
much.
it makes the film very unique. And let's talk a little bit also about the aesthetic of the film, the mise en scène, because all the photography is extremely beautiful, and the use of the light is very well.
Interesting fact. Compliment to my DOP Pascal Reinmann. He did an amazing job. But we hadn't have enough money, so it's a low budget movie, and we had to make a decision where to cut costs. And he came up with the idea that we just use available lights. We have no lighting at all, just sunlight and everything. And we use the lights of the excavators. So, and I think that makes the movie quite. It's a very special lighting now, and I loved it because I had more time with the actresses and actors to make the scenery, and I haven't had to give a shit about the technique, which was great.
I mean, you are lucky because many scenes are being shot like before the sundown, and it's beautiful. And there is also the use of very natural landscape, used for the sake of it, like because they are beautiful, or you want to mix, then you want to integrate this story into the nature.
I think where I grow up, it's in the suburbs, I would say, of a city. So it's landscape, countryside, but still quite industrial. So a little bit American touch somehow, because you see all the companies and whatever. And then in the background, you see the beautiful landscape. And I wanted to show that.
I want to talk just a little bit about the characters. I mean, you have a background in theater, and there is a feeling that you treat the characters with a lot of respect. That's what I feel.
I mean, what else? Sorry.
I know
they are so good actors and actresses, and this is what
exactly. But
that should be the standard, shouldn't it? But you have to ask them. But to me, it was very important that they feel good and safe, and they get a space to.
Exactly, but not only before you say in action, is the story you are telling us. That's what I feel. It's like you are very careful with how do they respond to this tragedy. Maybe because they are quiet and you wait. I mean, you accompany them in a with a lot of respect, like the distance that where you put the camera is very respectful. That's what I feel when I see the film.
2 points. First, I think I do like kitsch, but I like it if it's shown from a distance, because otherwise it's too much. So I think it's very good to use music and everything to get the emotions. But on the other hand, it's such a personal story that I had to step back as well, because I show the perspective of the son, the mother, and the father. And I'm always in the perspective of the son. So my point was to step back a little bit, to maybe step out of my focus as well. And for example, my editor, Tanya, she is a mother, and she could take the other focus. So that was very important to talk with my amazing crew about this as well, and the cast.
Exactly. That was the distance that I was associating with respect. That was my point. And you mentioned the use of the music during the film. No? You use the music that represents the emotional state of the characters sometimes, and it works very well.
It's quite a long history, the music. The music is composed by Rio Volta, a singer-songwriter from Switzerland, and we work since 10 years ago. And 10 years ago we did a music video for him called Through My Street with the Excavator Ballet.
Okay.
So that was the starting point.
Oh, so very nice. Congratulations again for your film. And ahora vamos a ver un pequeño clip de la película. Muchísimas gracias.
Shots we fall into the car. The shots we fall into the car. You're